Quelaag is a pretty tough boss in terms of stats, but not so very tough in terms of attack pattern. Oh, alright. That's the other thing is, remember how we have that fire or that shield that's good against fire? We want that equipped. We want that equipped. So do that before you get in here so that you don't have to do that at the last second like I just had to. And we are going to use the strategy we use against fatties. Yes, we are. Just get in close there and do some damage. That looks like there'll be some AoE. And I realize it seems unlikely that fire would do any damage to her at all, and that is the case. Alright, so our pyromancy is largely worthless against this boss. Just putting my right stuff at the bottom there while I kite these attacks. I'm gonna try and just get to the backside of her. Maybe I can get her to swing by going in the front there a little bit. How's our... Oh, jeez. Alright. That hurt an incredible amount. We're gonna sprint away from her and see if she won't do something. Yeah, cool. That gives us a chance to drink. The official Demon Souls drinking game, if anyone is interested, is every time you have to use your Estus Flask, you have to drink. Anyone is interested in doing that, don't know if I recommend it. You might die in real life in addition to dying in the game. Because once you get a little bit drunk playing Dark Souls, you are going to die a lot more. Alright, that does 109 damage to pierce her like that. She is awfully durable. Awfully, awfully durable. Well, what can we do here? We can try and not die to that horrible stuff that's happening out there. We're going to try and grab this gold pine resin here, see if that doesn't give us a little bit more of an edge, because it seems like just by the numbers, she is pretty much gonna deplete all of our Estus Flasks to beat us. So let's see what we can do by just busting this out, kiting her a little bit. Getting a little bit of our circle strafe on. Now we're doing 74 of one of those. We're doing 115. That gold pine resin barely increased our damage at all, people. That's okay, because maybe I take that back. Maybe that's actually doing a lot more damage than I realize. Anyhow, every time she spews lava, I'm a big fan of just letting her have the area where there's a lot of lava, even if you're using gold pine resin. Instead, just backing away and fighting her somewhere a little bit less lava-filled. You know, she'll chase eventually. She might chase and lay down lava, but she'll come and lay down lava. That's okay, as long as the lava's in front of her so that I can just take her backside and wail on her, that is fine with me. She's gonna explode over there. Does a little bit of fire damage, that's why I'm taking damage through my shield. There'd be a lot more damage if I wasn't blocking there. That is okay. Have him vomit lava whenever he wants. Oh no, that was a terrible decision to attack there. Need to regen some stamina before I go back in. Oh, and not walk into that lava over there. Alright. This is going a little bit slow, but it's also going pretty well so far. Pretty well. That lightning resin, the gold pine resin, I totally take back anything bad I ever said about it. It's an awfully good strategy to use that stuff in this fight. That does a ton more damage. Those are doing 74 strike. Just imagine what her health would look like right now. Awful lot lower. Anytime somebody's charging up like that, I generally just back away. Let them do their thing. Finishing off her combo here. That leaves some vulnerability. Take a fierce slash at her. He's gonna vomit. I'm gonna take 3 shots and not end up in the lava there. That's good. We like to not be on fire when possible. And there I saw him kind of bristling up, and so I just ran away, because even blocking that shockwave does a ton of damage. Oh man, she rotated an awful lot there before she hit me. Oh no, he is gonna explode. It is gonna hurt me. It is gonna kill me. Dang it! Alright, so what do you do when you die to Quelaag? That is the question now. And one thing that you can always do a little bit of is farming, but we just did an awful lot of farming, didn't we? Yes, we did. So at this point, I am noticing that I'm taking a lot of fire damage, and I'm also noticing that I'm not hurting her nearly as much as I could. I could definitely try switching to my Drake Sword and two-handing that against her, but it doesn't do all that much more damage than the Uchi Katana. Dragon Tail Axe here. Axe, sorry, not Ask. Is not going to help us at all, actually. If we look through our items here, we do have humanity that we can burn. Got fire bombs, those will help an awful lot, won't they? But it looks like, to me, that this fight is going to be pretty difficult for us. So we need to get a little bit of help. We are going to use humanity here. And we are going to resurrect a human. And we are going to get the help that we seem to need from an NPC. And also we're going to roast our boot. Yes, we are. We are going to sit at the fire and we are going to roast our boot a little bit after reviving the human. Whenever you revive the human, you might as well not just burn one humanity, but instead burn 2 humanities. I should have used my twin humanities. Because kindling that bonfire, I'm looking through my rings for some reason. It's because of the marshmallow D-pad on the Xbox 360. Burn that and just kindle this bonfire. Yes, indeed. Why is my foot going crazy? My ankle is broken there. I do not understand what is happening with that exactly. Anyhow. Alright, so there's actually an NPC that should be invading us any moment now. We need to switch back to that rusted ring so that we can move. Stay out of the poisony boot as much as possible. We'll just run around, pick up the shinies that we see as we see them, and wait for us to get invaded by this NPC. So we're poisoned right now, but poison ticks you down rather slowly, and we do have an awful lot of Estus Flask, so I'm not going to be too concerned about that. I'm actually going to just see it as an opportunity to run through whatever muck I want. Pick up whatever items I want, and now we see that the Dark Spirit Man-Eater Mildred has invaded us. Man-Eater Mildred. We are just going to try and find a safe spot, or make a safe spot, and there she is. And her attacks are pretty slow. Oh, ouch. Alright. Oh no, we do have a rather large number of mobs back there. Kind of a lot of mobs. Oh, we're getting hit by these insects. This is actually bad. We need to start thinking fast on taking out Man-Eater Mildred here. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I think fast, I think backstabs. Alright, so why are we getting invaded in order to get help, right? Because this is actually exactly what I wanted. I wanted to get invaded by this NPC here, and it seems counterintuitive. But it will all make sense shortly. As she does. And she drops a ton of souls, which is nice. And she drops 3 humanity and a butcher knife. And a butcher knife. And also we have another single humanity just from killing her. Because when somebody invades you and you kill them, you get a humanity. So I guess if you are feeling real bold, you could probably just burn 1 humanity and then kill her. And then use the humanity that she drops to kindle your bonfire. Sitting at a bonfire does indeed remove poison. And we can go ahead and level up once on our vitality. Accept. And that costed 4,900. So we could burn a soul item for 1,000 if we wanted, and then probably be able to level up again. Not entirely positive of that. If anyone wants to crunch the numbers, they can. But now that we've slain Maneater Mildred, we're just gonna go and we are going to absolutely make our way back to Quelaag's domain. But you know what? What fun would it be if we didn't take some unnecessary risks on the way over there now that we are revived the human? And try and get some shinies, you know? We like shinies, right? We're all on the same page on the shiny issue, right? Things that are shiny are generally beloved. And jerks that throw boulders at you are generally not. That's my experience, but you can get a great club there, and also just take a giant rock to the face, and another one, and hope we don't get locked into like an endless loop of rocks to the face. Oh my, alright, this is looking like a really bad idea. Yes, it is. Let's just go ahead and take our great club and run right back to our bonfire. We're going to need to stop. Swig out of our Estus Flask. And we are... So normally, you know, 7 Estus Flasks, that's not the end of the world in terms of fighting a boss. But because Quelaag is so just statistically strong, she's just got so much health and does so much damage to you that risk of being one-shotted is pretty substantial. Because of that, I'm gonna rest at our bonfire, and also because I'm human. If I were hollow, I'd probably just say, not much to lose. But risking that humanity is probably not the smartest thing to do in that circumstance. So once you get to a boss for the first time, feel free to just run right through everything. This is sort of what I did before too, but even if you decide to fight those guys the first time, I don't know if you're really going to get the same level of enjoyment out of fighting them the, you know, 9th, 10th, and 11th times. Just run right on up here. We are still human. Still quite happy about the fact that we are human. And we can go ahead and use a purple moss clump in order to get rid of this poison. Not the blooming purple. Want to save those. They're rather rare. Just a purple moss clump. There we go. Got our correct shield out here. And now... This is actually, not an NPC. But we will summon a player as well. Oh dear. But you can see that now you can summon Maneater Mildred here. I don't know if you can summon her with another player, actually. I see that... There we go. Now I can summon her. Just get our items all lined up here. Got an Estus Flask. Maneater Mildred is here. Let's wait and see whether the player actually gets summoned or not. Are there any other items we might want to use? Throwing knives. Couldn't hurt. I haven't used those yet. I don't know if I've ever even used those in my my first game. Alright, and we do not get our player character buddy.